What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTK, aka Josh Too Cool, and I'm back with another video. Man, I'm on a roll so far. 2 days in a row, three videos actually. Cause I posted me announcing the fight in the summer, then how I'm training, and now this. Man, I'm on a roll. I think this is the most consistent I've been since 2016. That's kind of sad. But anyway, I'm back with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about boxing. We're gonna be talking about boxing. So this is not another update video, because imagine if I did another update video in the same week. That would be crazy. You could just call this JTK update, pretty much, this channel. But this is not what this is. Pretty much what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, and my thoughts on it, and then we're gonna be moving on to Jake Paul. So staying on the topic of YouTube boxing right now, I'm not a Portland fan. I like the player. It's Damian Lillard. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. I'm a Lakers fan though. I think I did wear the Lakers jersey in my last video that I did like this. But yeah, I do like this. I got this for Christmas, so same with the Mamba jersey. So yeah, I got a lot of things for Christmas, including this new setup and stuff. But I'm back with another video, and we're gonna be talking about boxing. So let's start off with Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Now it's just kind of a stupid idea in my opinion. This is obviously a money fight. This is not who's the better boxer, because everybody in their right mind knows who's the better boxer, right? And if you think it's Logan Paul, you're clearly not in your right mind. But it's a money fight, and I guess you could say Logan Paul's getting good experience, which he is. He's getting very good experience in this fight, going up against arguably the best fighter in the world or of all time, right? Obviously, I don't think that. I think it's Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and then Floyd Mayweather's there too. Those are the top three, and yeah, and then the list goes on and on. But this is very good, practice, even though it's an exhibition fight, and they're actually fighting each other. This is not sparring. This is an actual fight. This could be a good learning experience for Logan Paul, because right now I think Jake is the better boxer, but I think going up against a guy like Floyd Mayweather is actually good experience for him to get in that ring, go against one of the best that has ever done it, 50-0, who has fought the best of the best, and that is a very good experience. Logan, even though he's going to lose this match, I think he's going to learn a lot from Floyd Mayweather by losing. So I think whoever loses this match still wins, because it's money. Like, these guys are getting paid $100 million to do this fight. If Floyd Mayweather, I could see him just playing around with Logan Paul, and just throwing jabs and just psyching him out, playing with him, and then probably finishing him. Even though I don't see him needing to knock him out, because what does he have to prove against Logan Paul? Logan Paul, if you look at it, has nothing to lose, but Floyd Mayweather has everything to lose. Take into consideration, if Logan Paul does win this fight, the internet is gonna go crazy. The internet is gonna go absolutely mad if Logan Paul somehow beats Floyd Mayweather, because they're gonna be like, okay, how are you gonna say Jake's the better fighter? Now he just beat the best fighter in the world. But I'm not gonna make any excuses for that. I'm not making any excuses for that if Logan Paul beats Floyd Mayweather. But Logan Paul's bigger, he's taller, he's probably stronger. He's built more. He has a lot more muscle than Floyd Mayweather. But when it comes to the boxing ring, that's not what matters, because we saw it Logan Paul versus KSI. Logan Paul was the favorite because he was bigger, he was stronger, he was also taller. But KSI had the better cardio, and he had the bit better technique, because he did have those wild haymakers. So Logan Paul had a bit better technique. Obviously, he had a world champion in his corner, Shannon Briggs, but Logan Paul is obviously going to lose this fight, but this is a good experience, good money fight, obviously. They're getting paid millions to do this, and I think that's what this really is. I think they're in this for the money, unless they really are taking it serious. It looks like they are. Well, Jake at least. Jake wants to fight everybody, and it's been announced that he's fighting Ben Askren, which I'm going to get into next. But yeah, so Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's going to win without a doubt, but I think it could be by decision. I don't think Floyd Mayweather is going to knock him out. He has no reason to knock Logan Paul out, because I think he's just going to toy with him, get a couple of shots on him. Like, he's still going to score points by like tapping him. I don't think he's going to try and knock him out, because what's the point in doing that? You're knocking out a guy that is on one as a pro boxer, and it was against a YouTuber. So, and has one draw as an amateur fighter. So I think the better fight right now would have been Jake, but obviously Jake might be a little bit smart, but I think this is good experience for Logan Paul. I like Logan Paul. I respect him a bit more than I do Jake, because I think Jake is a bit pain in the butt right now. But my respect is going up for him because he's stepping in the ring. He wants to fight, and I respect that about him. If you step in the ring, you automatically have my respect, because it takes guts to step in that ring. Even though Nate Robinson got knocked out, and put to sleep, I think that I still have respect for him, because it takes guts to step in that ring. No regular human being can step in a boxing ring, and it's tough for these like athletes, like NBA, NFL players, to step into the ring. I think the same thing would have happened to Antonio Brown if he stepped into the ring with Logan Paul, because Logan Paul really does this. Logan Paul's really training for this. Antonio Brown trains to be an NFL player, not a boxer. So I think the same fate would have been Antonio Brown if he stepped in the ring with Logan Paul. That's my opinion. But yeah, like I'm saying, Floyd Mayweather is gonna win this fight, but I'm still going to watch it, of course. I love watching boxing and UFC and everything. So, yeah, if you guys have any MMA boxing questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try and get to all of them. So, now on to Jake Paul. So, Jake Paul, he had his first fight against Deji. Obviously, that's not real competition. I heard that he took pills before the fight in Deji, and then he still gave Jake Paul a hard time, but obviously, when you get beat up like that, you're not going to want to fight for a while. Then you go up against Nissan Gibb, who everyone wanted to see him fight. Everyone was like, oh, Nissan Gibb's going to beat Jake Paul. He's going to knock him out. And then Jake Paul knocks him out in the first round because he had a very unorthodox stance. I looked like he was nervous. I made a TikTok about it when it happened a while ago. So he looked like he was nervous. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing. So Jake Paul knocked him out in the first round, and then he went up against another non-boxer in Nate Robinson. Like I said just now, he's coming from the NBA. He was trained to be an NBA player, not a boxer. You can't just step into the ring, get a pro boxing license, and say, oh, I'm a boxer now, right? And it didn't even look like he had any defense training, It looked like he didn't train any defense. It just looked like his trainers trained him offense, but obviously not properly, because you're not supposed to rush at a guy like Jake Paul like that, because if you rush at him like that, the same fate is going to happen to you. And that's exactly what happened to Nate Robinson. He got put to sleep, and pretty bad. That was one of the worst knockouts like I've seen, not ever, but in a while, or this year at least. So yeah, I think that now he's fighting Ben Askren. It was announced just a couple of days ago he's fighting a former UFC fighter in Ben Askren. And a lot of people are like, okay, Ben Askren's a former UFC fighter. He's going to knock out Jake Paul. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Jake Paul is going to win this fight, because Ben Askren, for those of you who really watch the UFC, he's known for his wrestling. He's known for his grappling. Ben Askren does not have a good stand-up game at all. So, he can't wrestle, he can't grapple in a boxing match. If this were an MMA match, I would say, yeah, Ben Askren would win. But it's not. This is a boxing match. You're strictly just punching. And this is where Jake Paul is good at. And I think Jake Paul wins this fight also. So this was one of the people that Jake Paul called out. I have much respect for Ben Askren. I've watched this, podcast, everything with Jordan Burroughs, Kyle Dake. Real wrestlers know who those guys are. But, yeah, I've watched all of those. And I have much respect for Ben Askren, even though he got knocked out in 5 seconds by Jorge Masvidal, which was, I still remember watching that. I went crazy. I made a whole Instagram video on that as well. I went nuts. but I still have respect for Ben Askren. But in terms of the boxing ring right now, I don't see Ben Askren winning this fight. I think it's his best competition yet. It's the best opponent Jake Paul's faced yet, and it's gonna be a good fight. But in the end, I see Jake Paul coming out victorious. And right now, I got a question earlier today. Who do you think's the better boxer, Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I'm gonna have to go with Jake Paul, like I said earlier in the video, because uh, Jake Paul, even though Logan Paul is bigger, stronger, Jake Paul has the better technique right now, and obviously we've seen more fights from Jake Paul than we have Logan Paul. Obviously, we're gonna see him fight Floyd Mayweather, but kind of real fight. It's an exhibition fight. It's not really a fight that Logan Paul can actually we can see him winning. Right, he has I think it was like a 2% chance of winning this fight. Like I give him a 0.5%. Like, so I see Jake Paul winning in a fight against Logan. I think they've sparred a couple times, and I think Jake has won. That's what I've heard before. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I don't think that Logan Paul would beat Jake. And as for Jake Paul versus KSI, the fight that everybody wants to see, KSI said that he's going to wait till the pandemic is over, until there's thousands of people in the stands, so he can knock out Jake Paul. Those are his words exactly. So hopefully we can get a KSI Jake Paul fight in 2021, so we can actually settle this, because that would actually be an interesting fight. The only thing is, KSI's got to change his way of boxing. He can't throw those wild haymakers. He can't, just throw those, can't look down and then just throw, because that's not going to work with Jake Paul. That's why I say Jake is the better boxer than Logan, because Logan almost got hit with a lot of those. And I think Jake, he could just slip and punch. That's his thing right there. He will, if you come at him, he can dodge and hit you, knock you out, and that's exactly what he did with Nate Robinson. So if KSI can change the way he stands, his form, I think that KSI could win, and I'd take KSI over Jake right now. Even though he's, like I said, he's going up against a former UFC fighter, but he's not a boxer. He's a wrestler. He's an Olympic wrestler, all around. He's all around wrestler. Like, he's done wrestling. Like I said, if this were an MMA match, Ben Askren would win, but it's not. It's a boxing match. So I gotta take Jake Paul, but KSI is a boxer. He's still training apparently. I'm not sure how true that is, because I don't know how much you can, really train and make YouTube videos at the same time, because he's making it pretty consistently. So I hope he is still training for Jake Paul, because I would be training if I were facing Jake Paul. And I turned 16 this year. Hopefully by the time I turn 18, I could fight one of these guys as well. Or hell, maybe I could pull it off being 16 and fight one of these guys. Who knows? Because Floyd Mayweather did it at 16. But yeah, that's something I would love to do. But like I mentioned, I have this fight coming up in the summer. I can't tell you guys who it is yet, because it's not confirmed. Like I said in the video that I told you guys about it might be confirmed in May. May it might be confirmed because of all this COVID stuff happening and all that. So yeah, we gotta figure that out. But this is like a 13 to 15 minute video, not too bad. Hopefully you guys watch this whole thing. If you have watched through this whole thing, comment Portland in the comment section if you're still through this. And maybe I'll subscribe to your channel if you have a channel. I'll subscribe if you comment, if you're all the way here and you comment Portland. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, I'll be back here with another video. Give me video suggestions, guys. I need more video suggestions, or else I'm kind of going blank right now. This is what I wanted to talk about today, but I'm starting to go blank. So let me know what I should post, and I'll try and get that for you guys. Alright, take it easy, guys. Stay cool.